Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Happier Hour. Today we have with us Dr. Jyoti Sangle. She is a consultant psychiatrist for last 25 years. She's born, brought up in Mumbai, has always been in Mumbai. She is head of psychiatry department at Holy Spirit Hospital Andheri. She is a visiting psychiatrist at Hiranandani Hospital Powai and she is a consultant psychiatrist at IIT Powai. Welcome to the show, doctor.
Thank you, Sina.
So, डॉक्टर ADHD एक ऐसी चीज़ हो गई है जो बहुत लोग बहुत बात कर रहे हैं अभी, काफ़ी बच्चों में देखा जा रहा है कि हो रहा है. सो एग्जैक्टली ADHD है क्या और उसके सिम्टम्स क्या क्या हैं?
So let's start with this that ADHD का full form होता है Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. So attention deficit in other words is inattention. Hyperactivity disorder is basically hyperactive. So इसके symptoms दो groups में divide होते हैं, एक inattention हुआ, एक hyperactivity हुआ. Inattention is basically जब आप in lay terms जब आपका ध्यान पूरा नहीं लगता है. But what that really means is one, difficulty in arousing the attention, second, difficulty in sustaining the attention and easy distractibility. तीनों चीज़ मिला के हम inattention बोलते हैं. उसके साथ काफ़ी सारी ramifications आती हैं, काफ़ी सारे offshoots होते हैं कि because I am not being able to focus properly, I'll make silly mistakes. Because I am distractible, I will take more time to complete my tasks. तो वो एक offshoot हुआ. But as such अगर आप पूछेंगे कि attention deficit क्या है, that is आपका attention arouse करने में time लग रहा है, उसको sustain करने में मतलब concentrate करने में time लग रहा है और आप जल्दी से distract हो रहे हैं. That is a inattention component. दूसरा component है उसका hyperactivity जिसको हम हिंदी में चंचलता बोलते हैं. So basically you will see that people are very fidgety, उनसे एक जगह बैठा नहीं जाता है. लोग बात करते हैं तो they butt in between क्योंकि उनसे रुक के दूसरा conversation ख़त्म करे, they cannot hold themselves up till then. Impulsivity होती है, they kind of jump from one task to another task. If they have a laptop, they'll have some 30 tabs open on it. So it's hyperactivity, both mental and physical. It's only not that a person has to be a jumping jack and a person is like all over the place. It's mental and physical, both hyperactivity. So these are the two sets of symptoms. So जब आप ADHD बोलते हैं तो you can either have predominantly inattentive kinds or you can have predominantly hyperactive kinds. So ज़रूरी नहीं है कि हर ADHD बंदे को या client को दोनों चीज़ें हो. You can have both either inattention, you can have either hyperactivity or you can have both. Usually hyperactive होंगे तो inattention comes side by side. But each inattention वाले बंदे को hyperactivity होगी ये ज़रूरी नहीं है. So these are usually the three types: the inattentiveness, the hyperactivity and the combined type.
And इसके causes क्या है? क्यों ये हो रहा है and क्यों ये ज़्यादा हो रहा है अभी?
So what has been said is basically ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorder. मतलब ये बचपन से होता है and it has a little bit of a neurological component to it and it has a lot of developmental component to it. So there was a time where it was assumed कि ये सिर्फ बच्चों में होता है. So in fact research shows that before the pandemic, childhood ADHD की incidence and prevalence कम हो रही थी. So research shows that 2016 to around 2020 they saw a decrease in the trend of diagnosis of ADHD. But after the pandemic हम both children or adults में we are seeing a rise. Lot of causes quoted of the pandemic but अब rise कर रहा है. And in fact अगर आप बोलें तो they say कि US में 6% of the population has ADHD जिसमें से 50% adults हैं.
Wow.
So it's not that it is only in the children. तो आजकल it is even adult ADHD is a concept which is coming up, but yes, whatever said and done, it is a neurodevelopmental disorder जहाँ पे एक neurological base होता है, तो it's a combination of nature and nurture जैसे बोलते हैं, and developmental issues में कई चीज़ें हैं, like your lifestyle, your social media exposure, your environment at home, your exposure to exercise, the amount of energy dissipation that you do, so a lot of factors which contribute. So it's सब मिला के, like everyone's story is different and everyone's contributory factors are different.
एंड क्या ये जेनेटिक भी है कि अगर पेरेंट्स में ADHD होगा तो बच्चों में भी होगा?
So I would say again nature and nurture. Like we say, अगर पेरेंट्स को डायबिटीज़ है तो बच्चे को डायबिटीज़ होगा ऐसा कंपलसरी नहीं है, बट अगर बच्चे को डायबिटीज़ होता है या द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन हैज़ डायबिटीज़, यू ऑलवेज लुक फॉर द फैमिली हिस्ट्री. So it's the same thing that if someone is diagnosed with ADHD, you do look, does the previous generation also have ADHD? But there are two things there. One is definitely a little bit of genetics, but also an ADHD parent by himself is going to be an ADHD while bringing up the child. So child का role model or learning model also is an ADHD model.
True.
So it's not completely genetics. There is also that he's seeing an ADHD parent bringing him up, and that's normalcy for him or her. So it's not completely genetics. There's a lot of learning also involved there.
एंड जब हम ADHD कहते हैं तो इनका बिहेवियरली कैसे दिखता है? मतलब अगर मैं कहूँ कि इनकी रोज़मर्रा की ज़िंदगी में ADHD कैसे अपीयर होता है?
So अगर हम स्कूल की तरफ देखें, हम बच्चों की तरफ देखें पहले, तो यू विल हैव कि क्लास से कंप्लेंट्स आ रही हैं कि नोटबुक्स कंप्लीट नहीं हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा सिली मिस्टेक्स हो रही हैं, असाइनमेंट्स टाइम पे नहीं आ रही हैं, असाइनमेंट्स इनकम्प्लीट आ रही हैं, हाइपर एक्टिविटी में क्लास डिस्टर्ब करता है, बच्चों से बात करता रहता है, चीज़ें फेंकता रहता है, फिजिटी है, पेंसिल रबर से खेलता रहता है, पेंसिल रबर के बीच में घुसा के रबर के 2 टुकड़े करता रहता है, रबर फेंकता रहता है. टिपिकल फीडबैक आएगा, बच्चे में बड़ा पोटेंशियल है लेकिन ये थोड़ा और फोकस करता, थोड़ा कम डे ड्रीम करता, अगर लास्ट मिनट में चीज़ें नहीं करता तो इट वुड हैव बीन बेटर. तो यू गेट दीज काइंड ऑफ वेरी सटल क्यूज फ्रॉम टीचर्स. पेरेंट्स बताएंगे कि हर रोज एक बॉटल खो के आ रहा है, किसी दिन वाटर बॉटल खो गई, किसी दिन पेंसिल खो गई, किसी दिन रबर खो गई, और उसको पता भी नहीं है कि खो गई है. द चाइल्ड हैजंट रियलाइज्ड कि मैं भूल के आ गया हूँ. बट जब the child reaches home and the mother is asking, that's when he realizes, oh, I did lose something. Till then there is not even, so it's just they're in their own world, they're just walking the road, they don't realize पीछे हम क्या छोड़ा है. So you will find a lot of those complaints कि चीज़ें खो रही हैं, the child hasn't reported and realized. Hyperactive में again you will see that the child is thinking so much faster than the child is able to read and write. तो उसके answers में words skip होते हैं. Questions में जैसे अगर होगा तो लिखा होगा टिपिकल, जैसे दिस इज द एग्जाम्पल आई कोट टू ऑल माई पेरेंट्स कि इंग्लिश का क्वेश्चन आता है, हु सेड दिस टू हुम, वेयर, व्हेन, हाउ. क्वेश्चन का एक पार्ट खो गया, मतलब हम लिखना ही भूल गए, हम इतनी तेजी से सोच रहे हैं, हमारा सोचना इतना फास्ट है कि हम वी कांट राइट इट. ऊपर 33.3 है, नीचे आते वो 3.33 हो जाता है. द चाइल्ड इज थिंकिंग सो फास्ट कि उसको मैथ्स के सम्स के बीच के स्टेप्स करने में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. ठक 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 ही डज अ टेस्ट, लेकिन पता चलता है कि उसमें या तो गलतियां हो गई हैं या ही इज नॉट गेटिंग द मार्क्स. बट द चाइल्ड इज इंटेलिजेंट, उनके इंटेलिजेंस में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होती है, बट द वे दे आर एबल टू कोप विद द नॉर्मल करिकुलम में यू स्टार्ट गेटिंग क्यूज.
एंड आप जो बता रहे हैं ना, वो एज अ पेरेंट मुझे लगता है कि बच्चे में कहीं ना कहीं नॉर्मल भी लगता है, राइट? कि थोड़ा सा बच्चा ज़्यादा एक्टिव है या फिर ध्यान नहीं दे रहा है क्योंकि अपने ही दुनिया में है. तो एज अ पेरेंट when should I be worried कि अच्छा ये क्या ADHD है या ये नॉर्मल बचपना है?
So I would say अगर आपका बच्चा इतना स्थिर नहीं बैठ रहा है कि आप जब किसी सोशल फंक्शन में हैं या लोगों के साथ हैं तो लोगों को परेशानी हो रही है या आपको अपनी सीट उठ के बार बार बच्चे को कंट्रोल करना पड़ रहा है, ही इज़ काइंड ऑफ शॉर्ट ऑफ अ सोशल न्यूसेंस, तो आपके एंटेना डेफिनेटली खड़े होने चाहिए. अगर आप जैसे टेबल पे बैठे हैं, ये बार बार टेबल बजा रहा है, कुर्सी बजा रहा है, बर्तन बजा रहा है, गिरा रहा है, उठा रहा है, जब तक वो थोड़ा एज अप्रोप्रिएट ठीक है. थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा है, एटलीस्ट बी अलर्ट. आई एम नॉट सेइंग ईच किड इज़ एन ADHD, बट बी अलर्ट. जैसे आप रोज़मर्रा की ज़िंदगी में रोज़ जा रहा है, स्कूल जा रहा है, आ रहा है, लेकिन टीचर्स बोल रहे हैं भैया ये एक जगह बैठता ही नहीं है, इसको हर 5 मिनट में वॉशरूम जाना है. अब कुछ तो होगा, वाई वुड ही नीड टू गो टू द वॉशरूम एवरी 5 मिनट्स. एंटेना खड़े हो जाने चाहिए. ओके, सतर्क हो जाओ, कुछ है, आई शुड एटलीस्ट बी अवेयर, दैट काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग. रोज़ चीज़ें भूल के आ रहा है, हम वी टेक इट एज बचपना है, नॉर्मल है, ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम. जैसे बच्चे को अगर आप डांस क्लास भेज रहे हो, स्विमिंग भेज रहे हो, तो बच्चा थक हार के बिल्कुल ठीक है, नॉर्मल है. जैसे ही वो एनर्जी उसकी स्पेंड नहीं हो रही है, वो घर में कूदाकादी कर रहा है, बी अलर्ट, कुछ है, इसको एनर्जी स्पेंड करने की ज़रूरत पड़ रही है, बी अलर्ट. All this can be very normal, but just keep in mind that ADHD is a concept, and just because it's a psychological concept or just because it's a mental health concept, don't live in denial कि मेरे बच्चे को नहीं हो सकता.
करेक्ट. एंड यू नो, जब ADHD बोलते हैं तो इज इट लाइक बच्चे की या बड़े की, जिसको भी ADHD हो, उनका ब्रेन में भी इम्पैक्ट होता है इन टर्म्स ऑफ उनका जैसे ब्रेन स्ट्रक्चर है, इज इट डिफरेंट फ्रॉम अ नॉर्मल ब्रेन?
See, if you do scans of very detailed scans of neuronal activity, or you do things like an EEG, matlab which is the brain excitability, you do find on detailed studies it's a little different than a brain which is not a non-ADHD brain. But if you ask me, उनके intelligence में, उनके capability में, उनके comprehension में, are they different than the others? Absolutely not. In fact, you may have the most intelligent person being an ADHD, very honestly. But the only thing is उसकी intelligence कई बार waste हो जाती है क्योंकि वो उसको execute नहीं कर पाता. So उनके, if you look at them as a human being, they may be the most complete, most sensitive, empathetic, creative, talented human beings. But वो उनकी इंटेलिजेंस जब एग्जीक्यूट करने की बारी आती है, वो जो एग्जीक्यूटिव डिसफंक्शन है जिसमें वो अपनी रोज़मर्रा की ज़िंदगी नहीं जी पाते, जब वो जो कुछ करने बैठते हैं, दे सिट इन फ्रंट ऑफ द स्क्रीन, उनको पता ही नहीं उनके 3-4 घंटे कब चले जाते हैं, जिसको हम टाइम ब्लाइंडनेस बोलते हैं कि पता ही नहीं. या कुछ काम करने लग जाते हैं तो इतनी ज़्यादा फोकस हो जाती है जिसको हम हाइपर फोकस बोलते हैं. 2 घंटे निकल, they get interested, they can sit for 10 hours, finish the task, get up, and then they're so drained that they can't do anything for 2 days. So time blindness हुई, hyper focus हुआ. You will have this thing that दिन भर they will try to work, they'll try to work, लेकिन वो छोटी सी चीज़ से इतना stimulate हो जाते हैं कि then shut down. फिर रात को बैठेंगे कि अब मेरा पूरा दिन तो निकल गया, कोई काम नहीं हुआ, अब रात को मैं 8 बजे काम करने बैठूंगा. इतना ओवरवेल्म हो जाता है कि वो काम होता नहीं है. तो काम होता नहीं है, उस देर में अपनी नींद पोस्टपोन किए जा रहे हैं कि नहीं मैं तो काम खत्म करके ही सोऊंगा. करते करते रिवेंज प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन, हम रात को देर से सोते हैं, फिर हम सुबह देर से उठते हैं, फिर हमारा दिन लेट शुरू होता है, फिर हम एग्जीक्यूटिव डिसफंक्शन में चले जाते हैं क्योंकि हम तो फ्रीज हो जाते हैं क्योंकि इतना ज़्यादा ओवर स्टिमुलेट हो जाता है. तो there are a lot of cues which we pick up, but they lead very difficult lives because of their executive dysfunction. In spite of meaning to do a lot of stuff, wanting to do a lot of stuff, and having the capability of doing a lot of stuff. But because of these concepts that they go through, because of these struggles that they go through, they are looked upon like ये तो कर ही नहीं पा रहा. But वो क्यों नहीं कर पा रहा कि तह तक अगर हम जाएं and we kind of help them, they can be very successful individuals. अभी आप वो स्विमर ही ले लीजिए, माइकल फेल्प्स, उसको 6 साल की उम्र में, आई थिंक 9 साल की उम्र में दे डायग्नोज्ड हिम, और उसको एनर्जी उन्होंने स्विमिंग में डाल दी. आज लुक एट हिम, वेयर हैज ही रीच्ड.
ट्रू.
सो इट्स जस्ट अर्ली रिकग्निशन एंड डायग्नोसिस. ही हैज चेंज्ड द वर्ल्ड टुडे.
एंड यू नो, ADHD के साथ जैसे आपने कहा कि कईयों के साथ दिमाग फास्ट चल रहा है, उतना लिखने में आप नहीं कर पा रहे, बोलने में उतनी जल्दी नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. तो जैसे इज इट लाइक लर्निंग डिसऑर्डर्स इज अ पार्ट ऑफ, यू नो, इट बिकम्स वन ऑफ द थिंग्स विद पीपल विद ADHD?
They coexist quite often, but they are two separate entities. So ADHD वाले को inattention के कारण silly mistakes हो सकती हैं, But because he's an ADHD or she's an ADHD, she will not have a learning disability.
Okay.
Learning disability or dyslexia is a very different concept, and it's an independent concept. Because a child is LD or is a slow learner, because of which the child may lose interest and so not be attentive, so be called and having less of attention. An ADHD child, by virtue of being hyperactive and by virtue of being inattentive, may make spelling mistakes, but that doesn't make him or her an LD. So they're two different concepts, but they coexist very commonly.
हाँ, सो मतलब दिखने में ऑलमोस्ट ऐसा लग सके है दोनों सेम दिख रहे हैं बट रीजन बहुत अलग है.
तो उनका डायग्नोसिस उस हिसाब से चेंज हो जाता है. सो इट्स वी यूजुअली डोंट बी क्विक टू लेबल, वी ट्राई टू फिगर आउट कि डायनेमिक्स क्या चल रहा है, क्या ड्रिफ्ट चल रही है, एंड देन वी काइंड ऑफ डायग्नोस.
तो जैसे बच्चे या बड़े जब आपके पास आते हैं तो आपको कैसे पता चलता है कि इनको ADHD है?
So ADHD का diagnosis is always a team diagnosis, very honestly. तो अगर बच्चे हैं तो जब वो हमारे पास आए हैं 90% ऑफ द टाइम्स वो पेरेंट्स उनको अपने सोशल एम्बेरसमेंट के कारण लाए होते हैं. दैट्स व्हेन दे रियलाइज कि देयर समथिंग नॉट ओके, और टीचर्स नहीं भेजा होता है, वेरी ऑनेस्टली. फॉर्चुनेटली मेंटल हेल्थ अवेयरनेस टीचर्स में भी काफ़ी बढ़ रही है, तो टीचर्स भी पिकअप कर लेते हैं. तो दे एटलीस्ट सेंड फॉर एन ओपिनियन. तो देर इज़ एन इंटरव्यू जिसमें हम पेरेंट्स को इंटरव्यू करते हैं. इंडियन सेटअप में टू रीच टीचर्स टू इंटरव्यू देम इज़ अ लिटिल डिफिकल्ट, but when we are on the school panels, the psychologists and the psychiatrists on the school panel do try to reach out to the teachers also. In private practice it does become a little difficult, but yes, interviewing the parents, interviewing the teachers is a part of it. And then we usually have psychologists who work with us, so we try to do proper testing on them, which is called a psychometric assessment, or a clinical psychologist is involved and a psychological assessment is done, which you have proper scales and rating scales and assessment scales on which बच्चा भी आंसर करता है, पेरेंट्स आंसर करते हैं, होता है तो हम टीचर से भी फीडबैक लेते हैं. तो ये टीम मिला के देन वी गिव अ प्रोबेबल डायग्नोसिस ऑफ ADHD.
सो जब बच्चे आपके पास आते हैं या फिर बड़े भी आते हैं जिनको ADHD है, वो आपको क्या बताते हैं, उनको कैसा फील हो रहा होता है अबाउट देमसेल्व्स?
एज आई सेड, बच्चों के केस में तो यूजुअली बच्चे खुद बहुत कम बता पाते, वेरी ऑनेस्टली. और लेकिन बच्चों के अगर हाइपर एक्टिव बच्चा है तो हमको एक्चुअली हमारे रूम में ही दिख जाता है कि बच्चा हाइपर एक्टिव है, क्योंकि ही इज़ लाइक ऑल ओवर द, ही और शी इज़ ऑल ओवर द प्लेस. इनअटेंशन वाले बच्चे यूजुअली हमारे पास एंग्जाइटी या डिप्रेशन या स्कूल फोबिया लेके आते हैं कि मेरा स्कूल जाने का मन नहीं हो रहा है, पढ़ाई करने का मन नहीं हो रहा है, टीचर आई एम बीइंग बुलीड, टीचर इज़ काइंड ऑफ पॉइंटिंग आउट एट मी इन द क्लास. तो वो उस तरह के कंप्लेंट्स लेके आते हैं, क्योंकि इनअटेंशन इज़ नॉट वेरी इजी टू स्पॉट. Adults 99% of the times, and I'm being very honest, they read Instagram or Reddit and come. They do the checklist on the internet, and again recent research shows 80% of reels on various social media platforms, I don't want to name them, misdiagnose ADHD. There's literally research papers, I'm not naming the social media platforms, but 80% of them are misdiagnoses of ADHD, that is overdiagnosis of ADHD. But yes, they will come saying that I have read and I think I have ADHD. So we have a reverse process here when we have to convince them you don't have ADHD. So that's one thing. Chunk comes with executive dysfunction कि मैं ऑफिस ही नहीं जा पा रहा. जब तक मैं स्ट्रक्चर्ड एनवायरनमेंट में था, विच इज़ द स्कूल, एंड पेरेंट्स सेट माई टाइम टेबल, दे मेड श्योर आई वेंट टू स्कूल, मेरा खाना आ जाता था, मेरे को पता था इस दिन पे एग्जाम देना है, ये टाइम टेबल है, मेरा ट्यूशन है, मेरा दिन पैक्ड रहता था, आई मैनेज्ड. 11th 12th आई स्टिल मैनेज्ड, बट द मोमेंट आई केम इनटू डिग्री कॉलेज एंड आई वाज थ्रोन इनटू द पूल, आई स्टार्टेड फंबलिंग, क्योंकि मेरे से चीज़ें नहीं मैनेज होती थी, टाइम मैनेजमेंट नहीं होता था, मेरे असाइनमेंट्स नहीं होते थे. दैट्स व्हेन दे स्टार्ट wondering what's happening, I can't focus, I can't complete my tasks on time, मेरे से नहीं हो रहा है. That's when they start so then they start calling it executive dysfunction. That's their big word कि मेरे से execute नहीं हो रहा. Then they come कि मेरे को manage नहीं हो रहा. And I have read on the internet and I think I have ADHD. And then the process starts. So quite a few of them we are able to genuinely figure out. Many of them still come with depression and anxiety as a presentation ki saying ki because I'm not able to manage anything, I'm feeling very depressed. And then we go into why are you not being able to manage, and then it becomes a reverse diagnosis.
एंड जैसे आपने कहा मतलब स्पेशली विद यू नो एडल्ट्स कि स्ट्रक्चर्ड एनवायरनमेंट से बाहर आते ही दे आर नॉट एबल टू डू थिंग्स एंड देन दे काइंड ऑफ सेल्फ लेबल कि हमें ADHD है. इन अ वे आई मीन इन इंडिया हमारा कहीं ना कहीं जो सेटअप है वो वैसा ही है राइट कि स्कूल्स तक एवरीथिंग इज स्ट्रक्चर्ड, उसके बाद स्ट्रक्चर हट जाता है
एंड सडनली हट जाता है.
करेक्ट, सडनली हटता है और इट इज़ नॉर्मल फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस राइट. आपको ADHD है नहीं है वो सबको है एंड वो दिक्कत सबको आती है कि एक बार एडजस्ट करने में उस नए एनवायरनमेंट में. सो हाउ डू यू एज अ डॉक्टर डिस्टिंग्विश कि अच्छा इनको एक्चुअली में ADHD है एंड इनको एक्चुअल में नहीं है?
So as I said, honestly, it's a team diagnosis. So when they come up to us, then we do take their childhood history also. Because if it has to be ADHD, it has to be a neurodevelopmental disorder. So if it's a neurodevelopmental disorder, you are going to find cues in their childhood. You are going to find some contributory childhood history. You are going to find some contributory college history. मिलेगा आपको. Longitudinal history लोगे तो कुछ ना कुछ मिलेगा. You will get like we call it the 3 P's. You will get predisposing factors, you will get perpetuating factors, you will get precipitating factors. We call it 3 P's. And so we will find something or the other when we go into the details. That's one. Also, it's a team diagnosis. So even if they are trying to tell me that okay आप ये सब जो बोल रहे हो मुझे बचपन में नहीं था लेकिन I am convinced मुझे अब है. So fine. So the point is the approach is not to defy them. The approach is to help a person. So then you say, okay, let's do the test. Let's figure out whether you have ADHD or not. That's one thing. Another thing is see inattention as a symptom and hyperactivity as a symptom. So inattention as a symptom can be a manifestation of anxiety, can be a manifestation of depression, can be a manifestation of PTSD, can be a manifestation of hypothyroidism, can be a manifestation of vitamin B12, D3 deficiency. So we usually try to tell them that okay, we understand symptom with which you are coming, we understand the struggle that you are going through, let's figure out what it is. And it's not difficult because once you go into the details, 99% of the times you will be able to reach a conclusive diagnosis. And there is a lot of overlap between anxiety and inattention. So that's the nut to crack.
एंड जैसे आपने कहा कि यू नो इनके बचपन में मिलेगा ही. सो आर यू सेइंग कि अगर किसी के बचपन में ADHD नहीं है तो बड़े होके ADHD हो ही नहीं सकता? दैट्स नॉट पॉसिबल.
It's we usually don't diagnose it so easily unless we clearly find something in the childhood because it's a neurodevelopmental disorder by definition. So yes, we need to find something in the developmental history which will help us diagnose. There is a concept of adult ADD which has come up, which is there in which the manifestations are in the adulthood. But usually we do find something.
So most of the people who are
It's
incorrectly
masked. It's masked because school में निकल जाता है. So for an example, now when I do go to IIT Bombay, I have the most difficult time convincing a person that you may have ADD because they have cracked the JEE and reached here.
करेक्ट.
They're the cream of the society and legitimately so. They're really brilliant minds.
True.
But at the same time, ADHD is not going to interfere in their brilliance, but is going to interfere in their functioning of day to day once they are in the hostel.
हाँ, लाइक यू सेड कि जब तक स्ट्रक्चर्ड एनवायरनमेंट में थे सब बहुत सही था.
So you are in the Kota, you are in the Narayana, you are in the Chaitanya, you're doing brilliantly because everything is so regimental. And intelligence में आपकी problem है ही नहीं.
ट्रू. एंड यू नो जिनको ADHD होता है उनका बाकी जो लाइफ है इन टर्म्स ऑफ देयर रिलेशनशिप्स या वो वर्क प्लेस में जा रहे हैं, हाउ डज ऑल ऑफ दैट गेट इम्पैक्टेड?
Well, it does get impacted, to be very honest. So let's talk about relationships. Basically, relationships में people expect equal partnership. अभी ये जिसको inherently inattention है, वो घर के काम भूलेगा, वो छोटी छोटी चीज़ें भूलेगा, वो इधर उधर रख के चीज़ें भूलेगा, अपॉइंटमेंट्स भूलेगा, डेट्स भूलेगा, डेट्स पे गिफ्ट ले जाना भूलेगा, इंगेजमेंट रिंग घर पे भूलेगा, सब तरह की चीज़ें होंगी. सो इट इज़ डिफिकल्ट. इट डज इम्पैक्ट रिलेशनशिप्स बिकॉज द इक्वल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी का जो बेसिक अंडरलाइंग एक्सपेक्टेशन होती है वहाँ पे वो स्क्यू हो जाता है. एंड ADHD का another major component is procrastination. अब because you are so overwhelmed, you keep on procrastinating. मैं कर लूँगा and you don't have a sense of time. तो कर लूँगा. Now the other person in the relationship, be it a friendship, be it a romantic relationship, be it a parental son-daughter relationship, everywhere procrastination doesn't work very healthily.
Correct.
So then it impacts relationships. It impacts your job because you're procrastinating, and when you're in a pressure cooker situation, you're performing brilliantly. So you are delivering, but you're delivering under a pressure cooker situation. So you're procrastinating till the end. So the boss is not going to like it every time, because every time you're not going to come up with an ace. You are going to come with suboptimal work at some point in time. And you are dissatisfied with yourself because you have given a last minute half-baked delivery. So at that time your dissatisfaction with yourself starts increasing. So that's how it impacts the job front also. Also in hyperactivity you will see multiple changes in jobs, because nothing keeps you stay at one place. So you keep on changing jobs. That's another thing which happens.
आपने जो दो चीज़ें बताई, एक तो मतलब स्पेशली जॉब रिलेटेड कि ये लोग प्रोकास्टिनेट बहुत करते हैं एंड प्रेशर कुकर सिचुएशन में दे विल जस्ट परफॉर्म एंड हाफ बेक्ड रहेगा. बट कैन इट ऑल्सो बी अ लर्नड बिहेवियर? बिकॉज आई मीन मोस्ट ऑफ अस स्पेशली नाउ, मतलब इवन फॉर माई सेल्फ, कॉलेज में आते ही वो वैसे ही होती थी हमारी पढ़ाई. पूरा साल नहीं पढ़ना है, आखिरी में एग्ज़ाम है, आखिरी में वो उस रात को पढ़ा एंड डन. जैसा भी आ गया वेरी गुड, पास तो हो ही गए. एंड सेम थिंग वी कैरी ऑन इन लाइफ एज वेल इन अ वे कि हाँ ठीक है, बोला है हमें करने, वो कर लेंगे, टाइम है ना अभी. तो
ठीक है, but when it becomes a persistent behavior and it is coupled with many other things. So it cannot be only that one thing which is picked up as a diagnostic criteria. That along with many others. So कई बार the person comes only with that complaint कि मैं थक गया हूँ, बॉस परेशान हो गया है मेरे से. But then we go into the history, okay, और कुछ था क्या, और कुछ था क्या, और कुछ था क्या.
So basically ऐसा नहीं कि एक symptom देखकर we can say कि ये हो गया है.
ADHD is always a constellation of symptoms. कि आपके जो DSM में जो हमारी किताब होती है जिसके बेसिस पे हम डायग्नोज करते हैं, उसमें भी you have to fulfill maybe 4 out of 8, 5 out of 9 ऐसा लिस्ट दिए, उसमें से एटलीस्ट इतने फुलफिल होने चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं है कि तुमने एक फुलफिल कर लिया, विच इज़ व्हाट रेडिट सेज इन टुडेज डेट. एक फुलफिल कर लिया, हो गया. इंस्टा विल से एक को 4 में तोड़ेगा, बोलेगा हो जाए. येस, they are doing a great job at creating the awareness for the concept. But there is also that it's never diagnosed on just one thing. It has to be a constellation of symptoms.
Got it. हाँ, बिकॉज आपने जो जॉब चेंज का भी बोला है, बिकॉज जॉब चेंज का बोला है, आई थिंक दैट हैज़ ऑल्सो बिकम अ नॉर्मल थिंग विद Gen Z, if I say.
Yes.
बहुत जल्दी
But the job change, if you're telling me I'm getting a hike, I am shifting, fine. I'm getting a better role, better pay package, yes. I'm getting better visibility, yes. I am bored, so I am shifting. I have nothing to do here, so I am shifting. Difference है.
हाँ, because I mean I have seen quite a few Gen Z cases wherein it's more about बोर हो गए हैं.
अब बोर क्यों हुए हैं में देन वी गो. कई बार एक्चुअली नॉन स्टिमुलेटिंग होता है, एंड दीज पीपल आर रियली इंटेलिजेंट, तो उनको स्टिमुलेटिंग चीज़ें लगती हैं. यू टेल देम टू कम एंड सिट फॉर अ कॉर्पोरेट मीटिंग एवरी डे, दे जोन आउट ड्यूरिंग द मीटिंग. उनको पता ही नहीं वो चल क्या रही है मीटिंग. दे डे ड्रीम सो मच, दे जोन आउट सो मच ड्यूरिंग द कॉन्वर्सेशंस दैट दे लूज ट्रैक ऑफ व्हाट इज हैपनिंग आउट ऑफ बोर्डम.
एंड क्या इसका स्क्रीन टाइम से लेना देना है? जितना अभी हम स्क्रीन्स देखते हैं, इतना स्टिम्युलेटिंग कंटेंट देखते हैं पूरे टाइम, क्या इसका उससे भी कुछ लेना देना है?
Yes, newer research is proving that the content and the screen time both is definitely contributing to prevalence in ADHD. It is contributing to the incidence, but it is majorly responsible for the prevalence of ADHD. Yes, it has it does contribute for sure. क्योंकि मैं 6 घंटे स्क्रीन रोज देख रही हूँ इसलिए मुझे ADHD हो रहा है, ये थोड़ा फारफेच्ड है. बट बाकी चीज़ों के साथ यस दिस इज अ मेजर कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटरी फैक्टर. सिर्फ स्क्रीन टाइम के कारण मुझे ADHD हो रहा है ये चांस थोड़ा कम है.
ओके, इंटरेस्टिंग. एंड जैसे मेजर हार्मोनल चेंजेस वाले फेजेस हैं, जैसे अगर फॉर एग्जांपल PMS इन वुमेन और प्यूबर्टी इन टीनेजर्स, तो इस दौरान डू यू सी enhanced symptoms with ADHD or it doesn't really correlate that
It
much?
does correlate. It does correlate both in so in females, both in PMS and in menopause. Menopause ka research is now coming out, which is very surprising. But you will have a lot of females being diagnosed between the age of 40 to 50. Because the ADHD symptoms are unmasked during menopause because of hormonal changes. If you have ADHD diagnosed during your PMS, it can go to a level, it can increase to a level that your drug requirement to control symptoms in the PMS may also increase. We may have to give an increment in the medicines during the PMS period for females. So both the major hormonal phases, which is PMS and menopause, may we see an escalation in the ADHD symptoms. Puberty, yes, for sure, both boys and girls. We are seeing a surge in symptoms. One, definitely the hormones play a role. That's also a time where their exposure to the external world really increases, and the meaning of the exposure to the external world in today's date is mainly media, social media and screen. So that's where your question about screen does come in, that it becomes a contributory factor. Also, less in India, more abroad, that is the age where they start experimenting with substances. Because in many countries it is legal. So that also does contribute to the ADHD symptoms.
आपने जैसे विमेन एंड मेनोपॉज बोला कि उस टाइम पे काफ़ियों के अनमास्क हो जाते हैं, तो एग्जैक्टली क्या होता है, कैसे दिखते हैं उनके सिम्टम्स, एंड हाउ डू यू देन से अच्छा मे बी इट इज़ ADHD एंड देन यू गो फॉर फर्दर डायग्नोसिस?
There usually it is executive dysfunction कि उनसे सडनली सब कुछ कर रहे थे बट अब वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस मैनेज नहीं हो रहा, घर नहीं संभल रहा, ओवरवेल्म हो रहा है. One of the major things is that. Second is depression. I can't do anything. मेरे से कुछ नहीं हो रहा. I'm just getting overwhelmed. I'm blanking out. Why are you blanking out? Then we go backwards.
Okay. And in terms of treatment of ADHD, तो उसमें आप क्या क्या करते हैं?
So my first thing is acknowledge that you have an issue. Once you acknowledge that I have an issue with my attention or with my behavior, which is secondary to inattention or hyperactivity, half my problem is solved. If I am going to kind of tell myself कि ये मुझे क्यों हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, then there is a problem. जब आपका diagnosis होता है, first step of treatment is to sit and understand what I have. Once you're aware of how this whole diagnosis is playing up in your daily life, whereas like those words that I used, the hyperactive, hyperfocus, the time blindness, the revenge procrastination, the procrastination, the overstimulation. Now, how are those things playing a role in my day-to-day life? I know what my goals are. I know what my treatment goals are. Then I decide how to plan my treatment. So the treatment is in ADHD, it is pharmacotherapy and psychotherapy. neither of them is mutually exclusive. If you do only medicines, it is managing ADHD. If you do only therapy, it is going to be very superficial because basically the neurodevelopmental part of it has not got managed. Right? So, it is always a combination of pharmacotherapy with psychotherapy which gives you the best results. ADHD as a disorder or as a condition can be managed, can be treated. It's neurodevelopmental, so it cannot be cured. But with age, with training, with time, everything settles and you learn to live with your problem, which tones down majorly when you attend to it and you acknowledge it and you address it. Now, I will first talk about pharmacotherapy, then let us go to psychotherapy. Pharmacotherapy में mainly usually stimulants are the gold standard treatment for ADHD, and around 68% of the population of ADHD is on stimulants. Nowadays, there are non-stimulants also available. There are ADHD specific non-stimulant medicines also available. So, these are medicines. Stimulants, the myth is that they cause dependence. The myth is that they will permanently damage your brain or cause permanent damage to your liver and kidney. Well, that's not true if it's done in a medically supervised way. There is a concept of drug breaks. It's all a very medical process, and it's not like a combiflam that today I have an exam and I have it and tomorrow I don't need it, I don't have it. The drug level of a medicine does not build up, and then you say that the medicine didn't work or I don't want to take it on a daily basis. Well, that's not how treatment works. Treatment has to be done in a medically, in a consistent way, persistent way, under medical supervision. And yes, there is a concept of tolerance, but the dependence is when you misuse it. The non-stimulants which we use, there is, people are still not very open to using medicines, and well, it's a zone where the efficacy is maybe not as much as stimulants, but it can definitely give you a lot of functionality. Okay. So, that's the pharmacotherapy bit of it. How much time do you need to take it? Well, at least you need to take it for the first 3 to 6 months to know how much is it working for you. Without that, getting a fair judgment about how much is it going to be working for you is not possible. Psychotherapy includes a lot of lifestyle modification, which includes being sure to have a physical exercise in your daily regime, and that physical exercise cannot be something like, can be something like a gym, but needs to be something beyond that, like a swimming or a dancing or a Zumba or a badminton or a tennis, which is actually going to tire you and going to tire you completely. Gym, I can kind of in a way do a little blindly also and passively also, but when I am playing a badminton or I am swimming or I am cycling, I have to focus. So, I am dissipating even my mental energy. So, a physical activity added to your daily regime does wonders. You need to be with a therapist who will give you behavior therapy techniques, who will give you occupational therapy techniques, who will give you cognitive techniques, who will give you techniques how to deal with your screen time. A lot of techniques can be added very casually to your daily routine, which reduces your executive dysfunction big time. So, it is a treatment plan between a psychiatrist and a psychologist for pharmacotherapy and psychotherapy, and the combination it which helps.
For pharmacotherapy, आपने जैसे बताया कि stimulants and non-stimulants, and I mean it depends on dosage you are taking. Of course, overdosage is a problem, but I mean if you take it how your doctor prescribes it, it's not a problem, and it's not like you get addicted to it.
No.
But are there any side effects to these medicines?
I won't deny them, but the side effects are something which, so we usually tell our patients that the moment you have a side effect, please come back and report it, we'll manage it. Known side effects hain. So, some people lose appetite on it, some people do kind of get palpitations in the initial phase, initial surge in anxiety hota hai. There are proper food rules which you have to follow while you're taking the stimulants. There are proper timings which you need to follow, proper exercise regime which you need to follow timeline wise when you're taking these medicines. So, we keep on guiding them through the process. I am not denying that there are side effects, but usually it is not life threatening side effects if you are with a doc and taking it in a supervised way. There are rules which you follow the rules, you do the correct dosing in the correct timings and in touch, consult with a doctor. Usually you sail through very smoothly.
And it isn't like, you know, they are a lifetime medication कि अगर आप एक बार पता चल गया आपको ADHD है, आपने medicines लेना चालू किया, आप जिंदगी भर लेने ही पड़ेंगे.
One, it depends on the severity of the illness. So, if you are diagnosed with severe ADHD, that may be true, let me be very honest. But it will be supervised and it does not have to be a very high dose, and you can still have your drug breaks, but during a crisis professional situation or a crisis academic situation or a crisis family situation where you need to be very functional, you may need to do it. That is very exceptional cases. But most of the times with time, with training, with medicines, with therapy, you learn to live with your little bit of a quirk. And I am not normalizing the condition. I am not saying that there is no condition. I am saying you can live with it. And we have so many examples who are doing so well with ADHD. So, like we spoke about the swimmer already, the footballer Michael Jordan, he had ADHD. He did well. There's an actress, who's that name?
Alia Bhatt.
Alia Bhatt, Indian, yes, she has ADHD. That Hilton, I don't know the first name, she has ADHD. They did well for themselves.
True. And in terms of, you know, therapy, exactly what all therapies are effective for ADHD?
Physical exercise for sure. Doing everything to not have digital fatigue is what it's called. So, we always talk about digital toxicity, but what we have not been talking about is digital fatigue. That the consumption is so prolonged and so much that you are fatigued, but you are so fatigued that you cannot do anything because it is तुम्हारा सबसे last resort was doom scrolling and now you are fatigued even with that. So, that's something that really needs to be addressed. Setting up a routine, which is the most difficult thing for ADHD clients, but is the most effective one. Behavior therapy with a behavior therapist. Cognitive restructuring with a cognitive therapist. Occupational therapist who tells you how to dissipate your energy. That works. Family therapy works. A lot of nature therapy, ecotherapy which we call it, is now in the fray for trying to kind of manage ADHD. That's there. Music therapy is being used a lot in ADHD nowadays because it's a good channel in which you kind of have soothing music also, and it helps you kind of realign your excitability. Music therapy is being used. Family therapy is a must because the family needs to know how to address and deal with them and need to partner with the child or the adult in management of the disorder. So, family therapy is also another thing. So, these are the various things which are coming up.
You know, you mentioned about family therapy, and you know, few days back I was talking to a mother whose daughter, 14-year daughter, has ADHD, and she actually asked me that, you know, just ask doctor that how should I manage all of it, because at times the bout of angers she get, I don't know how to manage. So even though I know she has ADHD, I see a lot of things, but it's out of my control at times.
So, the anger outbursts usually come out of frustration that these kids go through, because in spite of trying they are not being able to manage. So, they are struggling. and the expectations that they can't match, and the deadlines that they can't match. And they are 14-year-old, so she's in school or he's in school, and they don't know what to do with themselves, and what do they tell the teachers, and they have board exam prelims, they have projects, and they have to do it and they can't do it. So the anger is basically coming out of their own struggles, their own frustration, and inability to communicate this to the parent or to the teachers. There is also a concept which is very very important, or plays a very pertinent role in hyperactivity, which is instant gratification. They have very low frustration tolerance and they want things immediately, they want instant gratification. And so I have procrastinated, now I have started a project, it should just happen. Some paper पे ink गिर गई, some printout didn't come properly, और कोई last minute पे data नहीं मिला, they can't handle it. And so the anger. So the anger outbursts are difficult to manage, but usually if they are with a therapist, they'll be able to figure out and trace the anger. But yes, as a parent, I would say the biggest role they can play is being aware, acknowledging, and supporting. But by supporting, the child is usually not asking for pity. The child is not asking for sympathy. The child is asking you for empathy and to be with the child. The child just wants you to acknowledge the fact that I have a problem and be with me. Don't try to say, "Arey bechari." Today's kid doesn't want to hear bechari.
True. Yeah, because one of the things she mentioned was कि जब मेरी बेटी को bouts आते हैं anger के या बाकी चीज़ें होती हैं, उसके बाद when she relaxes, she's like, मम्मा आपको भी कितना बुरा लगता होगा ना कि मतलब मैं आपकी बेटी हूँ, अगर नॉर्मल बेटी होती तो things have been so much easier for you. She's like, मतलब मुझे समझ नहीं आता at times कि चल क्या रहा है, and I myself am so much of confused कि अच्छा कैसे करना है.
Therapy is something that is a must, because kids are confused, they're really struggling. It's not, they're not doing it out of choice. उनको नहीं मज़ा आता when टीचर उनको क्लास में बोलती है कि तेरी असाइनमेंट कंप्लीट नहीं हुई. बोलने के लिए ठीक है, they say that the parents shouldn't interfere, but they don't like it when the teacher pulls them up. Today's generation defies it, but they internally do not like it, and the defiance is coming out of the fact that they do not like being pulled up. They do not like being pulled up, one, because they don't like authority, but also because they kind of realize that they have not done something. That acceptance is not easy for them.
True. And अगर जैसे अब हम we were talking about treatment, so अगर कोई regular treatment के लिए आ रहा है, like you mentioned, completely cured नहीं हो सकता है ये, but it can be managed better. But अगर कोई किसी का diagnosis नहीं हुआ है, so how does it appear in their life? And
they move on with life. If you don't have that executive dysfunction, you struggle with life, but you move on with life. But it's not going to affect your quantity of life in any way. It will keep on affecting your quality of life, but it's not going to affect your quantity of life. It's not going to have physical repercussions. It's not going to cause a heart disease, a liver disease, or a kidney disease, or something of the kind. But yes, your quality of life will remain compromised.
And एक बार अगर इनको जैसे manage करना आ गया with medication and with therapy, so is it like they can have a normal life after that?
Absolutely. Normal life, close to normal life, with managing and knowing that यहाँ पे मेरे को मुश्किल होने वाली है. Multitasking is going to be difficult for me. So if I'm multitasking, I'm going to write my notes and keep my notes ready. So those are things that that training is inculcated into them. So the moment they say 6 instructions coming, they by default pick up their mobile or their pen and paper and write down the instructions, because they know कि चौथा instruction तक मैं भूल जाने वाला.
So they start knowing their triggers.
They write. So like if you have kids, so in the foreign countries especially, when these kids go and live in the hostel all alone, most of the kids by then know task लिख के जाना, नहीं तो हम bread लेने जाएंगे, butter भुलाएंगे. अब we cannot go again and again. So they have learnt those things about keeping a list, keeping a to-do list. A grocery list is different, a laundry list is different, and they know कहाँ पे क्या लिखना है. They'd assign days so that they learn those tricks.
So they become fully functional, human beings. It's not like, it's impacted. So they just know how to.
They know how to manage themselves. As I said, they learn.
आपके आपके पास जो पेशेंट्स आते हैं उसमें से कोई एग्जाम्पल है आपके पास ADHD का, विच इन टर्म्स ऑफ जब वो आए थे, हाउ डिड इट लुक, क्या डायग्नोसिस हुआ, और उसके बाद जब थेरेपी हुई और मेडिकेशन हुई, हाउ देयर लाइफ इज नाउ?
I can give you quite a few. Let me give you the last one whom I saw today morning. So, finished engineering, is applying for masters now, is in a job, is in a job. The only thing he felt is I just can't manage these submitting these PPTs or whatever I need to do in my job. मेरे से time पे नहीं हो रहा है, and बहुत silly mistakes हो रही हैं, and I'm not liking this because I like to be perfect. I like to be good at my work. And I'm missing deadlines, I'm missing half the times I get up and I realize I don't have time for a bath and I'm just running to office and all that. He also mentioned that I'm missing details in my presentations or in my work. So he said, okay, let's do the test. Did the test, turned out to be positive, put him on medications. It's, I think, his 8th week of medications today. No, it's his 12th week of medications. After around 6th week or 7th week, he had his master's applications. By then, he was already on medications. In fact, that is what brought him to us, because he couldn't manage doing his master's applications, and he was finding it very frustrating that he was good at his work but couldn't compile. So the abroad master's applications, we know, is a very exhaustive process. So he couldn't, that was frustrating him, that he was not getting in place. So that's how he came. Yes. So we did his 6 weeks of medications and he applied for his master's. Today he's got admission to Columbia.
Oh, that's nice.
In fact, today morning he came with a box of sweet stock, finally got into Columbia and thanks to the meds, and I'm never going to stop the meds.
Wow, that's amazing to know. And last question, in terms of ADHD, are there any new research or new advancements that are happening in this field?
A lot of research is coming out. One is, like we said, hormonal changes. Females may, menopause may, there are a lot of studies which are starting. Newer drugs we are trying to find so that if we can kind of give patients options other than stimulants. We are trying to look at investigations which can be more objective and less subjective than a clinical assessment, like an imaging or an EEG. If we can find some conclusive way of kind of finding out that it's ADHD even in an early age, even before the child really grows up. A lot of research into role of family in ADHD. A lot of research into the cultural component of ADHD, which cultures accept ADHD easily, in which cultures is it still called, blamed on maybe parents, or blamed on chance or on fate. So these things are definitely up.
And where does India stand?
Well, NIMHANS is doing a very good amount of research, even in ADHD. Cultural studies are happening in India. A lot of studies post-COVID increase in ADHD is happening in India along with the entire world. But yes, the post-COVID research, post-COVID increase in ADHD symptoms in the clinical practice is definitely being researched, that how much of it is actually ADHD and how much of it is something else. And yes, another very prominent area of research is inattention as a symptom in trauma patients. Very, very lot of blooming research there. That not so much in India, if I can add, but yes.
Interesting. And thank you so much, Dr. Jyoti, for being on the show. I've learned a lot about ADHD, learned कि कैसे हम लोग खुद मिसडायग्नोज कर रहे हैं अपने आप को जस्ट देख के कि अच्छा ये है तो मुझको तो ADHD है. So I think वो काफ़ी important है. And I've learned really a lot कि कैसे proper diagnosis is important, going to the doctor and getting your diagnosis
Yeah.
is more important because there's a very high possibility.
That you're misdiagnosing or
you are-
over-diagnosing.
Exactly. So thank you so much for being
Thank
on
you
the
so
show.
much. It was lovely being here.
Yeah, thank you.